Hello friends, and welcome to the Hanged Man in the Moon. If this is your first time here, welcome. I'm pleased to meet you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I'm truly honored. Well friends, the tarot spread has been laid, so let's dive right in. You can see that I've brought back the Melanated Tarot because it's a beautiful deck and we haven't seen it for a little while. And if you're interested in purchasing this deck, there will, as usual, be information at the end of the video as to who the creator is and the name of the deck. And below the video, there will be a link in case you just want to click over and purchase from the creator yourself. Now, I do not get any commission from purchases from any of these links on my YouTube site. If that does become the case, I will be sure to let you know. Now, friends, before I laid this spread, let me tell you the circumstances. Can you see that the background looks a little bit different from usual? Well, I'm in the process of moving to a new job. I'm actually moving to a new city. And so before I laid the cards for this week's video, I asked the question, what does feeling the need to move on do for us, or does it work against us in relation to the powerful force of our intention? Now, the force, the power, the flow of intention is constantly moving and constantly available to us. We all know that. We always have the choice whether we want to flow with our intention or to turn in the opposite direction and force our way in the opposite direction. So, does this feeling of wanting to change, this need for change, to move on, does this help us or hurt us? Hinder us, I should say. Well, you can see from this spread, we've got a pretty clear answer. Let's look at the first card. So, before we go into the first card in depth, let me ask you this question. Have you ever felt the need to move on? Have you felt the need for change, as I'm feeling now, preparing to move to a new city? If you have, or if you're feeling it now, what do you think? Is that a positive feeling or a negative feeling? Now, if you're thinking it's a positive feeling, it's hope, it's expectation, that's not exactly the question I'm asking. Feeling the need for change, feeling the need to move on, is a negative feeling. Something that we are experiencing now is not what we want. We are resisting the here and now. Because of that, we need to move on. We're not just happy here and expectant of something better coming along. The question was the need to move on. And if you felt that, you know that that was a negative feeling. And if you know that negative feelings are an indication that you are in fact fighting the powerful force of intention, then you know that that feeling for wanting to move on is an indication that you're turned in the wrong direction. You're turned in the direction opposite of where you want to go. And this first card, strength, can sometimes be interpreted as actual physical strength, powerful, forceful strength, physical strength, or also strength of character. However, that's not the interpretation I think that fits this layout, this spread. If you look at the card, the strength card, you can see a woman dressed in white, very pure. White is a pure color in tarot, usually. And in front of her is a lion. So we've got two opposites, a human and an animal. Now, okay, so maybe you don't think they're opposites, but symbolically, we have the white pure, higher self, woman, and the animal, baser, instinctual animal. And those are two aspects that we all have. We have a higher self, for want of a better word, higher self. Personally, I don't think there is a higher self and a lower self. They're just different aspects of ourselves. But often we call it the higher self and our base instincts. So for ease of communication, let's use those terms. So the animal, the lion, is our baser instincts. It's our unconscious needs, desires. Yeah, the need to survive, the need to eat, to procreate, those baser instincts. And then the higher self, the one that looks for beauty, for divine connection, for spiritual experiences. The strength card is the card that shows us that we do better when those aspects of ourselves are in communication, in friendly communication. And the need for change, the need to move on, is probably an indication that those two aspects of ourselves are not being very friendly right now. And so, the strength card is showing us that we need to find some integration within ourselves. Yeah, our basic needs and our higher desires, our less physical desires, need to come into alignment. There's another card that will show us an indication of the two combining, becoming one. In this card, we're just looking for alignment, a friendly association, friendship. Now, Carl Jung sometimes explained an integrated person as one in which the conscious mind and the unconscious mind are in friendly association. Yeah? A friendly association with our shadow selves, for example. And I think that this card is showing us that when we feel the need for change, the need to move on, we are actually needing a realignment and integration within ourselves. So let's look at the first 3-card line of this spread. When you saw the entire spread, did you notice that a lot of the cards in the spread are reversed? This was my first indication that the question that I had asked had a lot of negative energy in it. And so in this first line of 3 cards, you will notice that the first 2 cards are also reversed. The first is the Page of Pentacles. Now, the Page of Pentacles is originally a card for the new student, the person who is learning a new trade or starting to imagine and deal with perhaps a new opportunity. In reverse, we see that this need for change, the need to move on, probably comes from a lack of progress. If we were progressing as we had expected, we wouldn't feel the need for change, the need to move on. We wouldn't feel an inner conflict. However, that inner conflict may be because of, one reason may be, the lack of progress. We notice that we're not moving as quickly as we want to. We may have had some recent failures. I know I've had a recent failure, and maybe we feel the need to learn from that failure, but we haven't gotten there yet. We may also be procrastinating. Yeah? Some of that lack of progress may be due to our own lack of moving forward with our own action. We may be sitting on our heels. So, the first card in reverse is pointing out our discomfort when we feel a lack of progress. And some of that is also our responsibility. Yeah, we need to learn from our failures. We need to pick up one foot and put it in front of the other. We need to not expect too quick of a change either. Now we need to regain some patience. And so the next card, the Hanged Man in reverse, is another card that's showing us that we're feeling the delay. We're feeling resistance to what is now and feeling that our progress is being delayed. We're perhaps feeling some indecision. That indecision may be part of our procrastination. And we may be playing the martyr. Have you ever played the martyr? Oh, poor me, I failed and poor me. I felt that sometimes. I felt that often. And this Hanged Man in reverse may be showing us that we could be playing the martyr. For attention, to make ourselves feel better, to make ourselves feel pure. To make us feel like we're above it all when we're the martyr. But those feelings of things aren't moving fast enough, oh poor me, are definitely not going to help us move in the direction of the life we want to create, of the new job, the new house, the new relationship, the improved circumstances, the experiences we want to experience, the art we want to create. That feeling that things are being delayed is not going to help us. So what will help us? The next card points us in exactly the right direction. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight of the pack, they say. His horse is not charging ahead. His horse is not flying through the air. His horse is actually standing very stable, in place. Because the Knight of Pentacles is the knight of steady progress. It is the card of steady work. And that's what is going to get us through this feeling of delays, procrastination, not being able to learn from our mistakes. We need to just start moving our feet. We need to start feeling productive. We want to start getting a stable routine. And that might be difficult because it could be that steady, stable routine which is causing us to feel the need to move on. We might be bored to tears with our routine. However, we need to allow the routine to exist. And if we can love our way into the routine, into making or taking baby steps forward, doing the work step by step by step, not overwhelming ourselves with the innumerable tasks that we are afraid we have to accomplish in the next 5 minutes, but moving steadily, step by step forward is the best solution to releasing the negative feelings around our lack of progress, around our negative feelings for the delays that we're experiencing. Because those delays are not actually delays. They're our perception, our negative perception of what is happening right now. And what we want to do is change our perception, ease our perception into enjoying what is happening now. And when we can do that, we will be back in the flow of our intention. Let's look at the next 3 cards of the spread. This line of cards has 3 cards all in reverse. But don't worry, the last one actually is a good thing. It's a good thing that the last card is in reverse. So, let me ask you this question. Have you ever had, for example, a passion project or something you really, really wanted to do? And you wanted to do it so much that you start feeling impatient about getting going. Have you ever felt that? I'm feeling that a little bit about this move. I want to get going. And that can be a result of that feeling of lack of progress and that desire, that to move, to get going, that haste is actually standing in our way. It's actually an indication that we are not moving with the natural flow of our intention. Yeah, you can see that the Knight of Wands is on a horse charging fast, but it's in reverse, showing us that we are feeling the need for speed, but we're not there because we are resisting something. And perhaps we are experiencing some scattered energy. Yeah, we can't go forward, so we got this energy shooting off of us in multiple directions, but it's not focused, it's not moving with us, it's just shooting out. Perhaps we're feeling insecurity. Yeah, the Knight reverse could be a feeling of security and frustration at not being able to move in the direction we want to go as quickly as we want to go. So that is an indication that we are not moving in the direction we want to be moving in. And the next card, the Six of Swords, also in reverse. Now the Six of Swords is the card of moving forward, moving into the light, moving from choppy waters into the clear sailing waters ahead of us. Now leaving past difficulties behind and moving into a brighter future. But here we're seeing the card in reverse, which is showing us that while we want to experience a personal transition, we want to move forward, we are resisting change. We would be changing, we would be moving forward if it weren't for our own resistance. We may be feeling trapped in our current situation. We may be yearning for escape. And that feeling of being trapped, yearning for the change, is what's standing in our way. Well, is an indication that we are standing in our own way. So what do we need to do? We need to do the Nine of Swords reversed. The Nine of Swords is the card of worry, anxiety, nightmares, but reversed. It can mean inner turmoil, and we are experiencing in this situation inner turmoil for sure. But it is also the card of healing from the inner turmoil, the card of releasing our worries. And that's what we need to do. That's what we want to do, to move with the powerful force, the powerful flow of our intention. We want to release our worries, release our anxieties, release our nightmares, open ourselves to the flow of our intention and naturally move forward. So when we're feeling that feeling of yearning to escape, that feeling of frustration at our inability to move, what do we need to do? We need to let go. We need to let go, maybe let God, let divine source, let our higher self, let the universe carry us in the direction that we have already selected. The course of our intention we have selected. We just need to go with it. Let's look at the next three cards. This set of cards is also all in reverse. Now the first card is the Six of Wands, and upright. The Six of Wands is the card of victory, of returning from battle victorious, of people around you congratulating you and feeling very successful. Now in reverse, it can mean our private achievements, our personal definition of success. And that's what we want, really. That is the most important thing. If we're only looking for applause from the outside, we're actually resisting the power of our intention. Our need for attention is an indication that we are resisting the power of our intention. So really our private achievements, our sense of personal success, and our personal definition of what that looks like is the most important. And we've already done that. We've already concluded where we want to go. And it's because we're not going there that we're feeling these feelings of lack of progress, of scattered energy, because we know where we want to go and we're not going, or it feels like we're not going. We're feeling postponements. We're feeling that we have some advancement there in front of us, but we're just not there yet. And that's the Six of Wands reversed. You have that feeling of, I see my success, I see what that looks like, but it's not here yet. So the next card might be telling us why we're in this position. Yeah, the Ten of Swords is a card of utter defeat, utter ending, if you will. Reversed, it shows us that what we want is recovery. To be able to move on, we first need to recover. Now remember in the last line of cards, there was a card of needing to learn from our failures. Now we need to learn from our failures. We want to learn from our failures, but we also want to recover from our failures as well. And this Ten of Swords card reversed could be telling us that we need some recovery time. We could be resisting an inevitable end. We actually may not have reached the end. We may need to reach an end before we can move on. So that's something else we can look at. If we're not moving on, maybe it's because we haven't actually reached the conclusion of where we are here and now. It could be that we're relying on our endurance. Yeah, remember the Strength card? At the top of this spread, the Strength card. Muscling our way through. Now this card is showing us that muscling our way through, our relying on our own personal endurance is not the way to go. Because muscling our way through is an indication that we are turned in the opposite direction of the flow of our intention. What we want to do is ease into the river of intention. We want to ease into flowing with the powerful current of our intention. But right now, we're not there. So, how do we get there? The last card, the Queen of Wands in reverse, is a helpful card in this case. What we need to do is reclaim our self-respect. We may have lost some of our self-respect with some of our past losses, some of our past failures. And to really come to the end of where we are now, so we can move on, we may need to, as we recover, reclaim our self-respect, our self-confidence. If we need to move to regain our self-confidence, we've got it backwards. We need to regain our self-confidence, and then we will naturally be moving forward. We need to regain our sense of self, reestablish our sense of self, which is that courage card, that integration of light and dark, above and below. And it doesn't even need to be integration, complete integration. It could just be a more friendly relationship between our higher and our lower, our light and our dark. Right now, those elements are probably in discord, in an unfriendly relationship. And we need to reestablish ourselves and yield. We want to yield to the flow of our intention. If we can trust it, yield to where we are going naturally, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. And the more we yield, the quicker we'll be going. And the quicker we are going, the less we'll be feeling those feelings of lack of progress, of haste, of needing to move on. Let's look at the last two cards. So these last two cards are back in relationship with the Strength card. The first one, the Five of Pentacles, in reverse, is showing us that we need to recover. We need to recover to be able to reestablish a friendly relationship between the aspects of ourselves. We need to realize that we are on a spiritual journey. Remember, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. This is all a spiritual journey because we are spiritual beings. We need to allow ourselves time to rehabilitate. We need to allow ourselves time for improvement. We want to let go of that impatience and recover. Recover and re-establish good relationships within ourselves. And if we do that, we will reach the world card. The world card is the card of fulfillment. It's a card of completion. Yeah? We need to complete where we are now, and then we can open the door to move into the next experience. It's also the card of integration. Yeah? Perhaps after we have established friendly relationships between our light and our dark, our shadow and our consciousness and our subconscious. When we've reestablished friendly communication, we can start to integrate. We can begin to feel our natural sense of accomplishment. We will know that we are our own masterpieces. And when we know that, we'll be back in the flow. We'll feel the powerful force of intention behind us, around us, in front of us, helping us to move into the lives that we are creating for ourselves at every moment of every day. We will be our own world. And each of us is our own universe. Interacting with each other, certainly, but we are our own universe, integrated into one whole oneness. I shouldn't even say integrated, because there is never any separation to integrate. But when we're in that sense of the world card, we are integrated and we realize that there is no separation between us and other. Because there is no other. There is only the one. The one of the world card. So, friends, when we feel when I feel the need to move on, I know that I want to look within. Look within to reestablish communication within myself. I want to reclaim my Knight of Pentacles and start moving forward. Baby steps, small tasks. I want to allow myself to experience the release of anxiety of the reversed Nine of Swords. I want to regain my self-confidence, my self-respect in the reversed Queen of Wands. And then I will be my own world card. So friends, it's all an internal life experience. It's all an internal work in progress. Have you felt that need for change? Have you felt that need to move on to something else, to escape where you are now? Remember this. And if you know someone else who is feeling that need to escape, perhaps you could share this video with them. Perhaps they could get something out of this. So friends, remember, at the end of this video, there will be information about this beautiful melanated tarot deck. And if you feel inspired, hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and click the alarm bell so that you get notifications of when I upload videos. And comment below. How do you move through that feeling of the need for change? Have you found a way for yourself to release that need for something different and be able to naturally flow in the direction that you want to be going? Tell me below. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.